The task at hand is to connect this brand new water meter way up there to a house that my dad and I are going to build. It's approximately 1,000 feet. We're planning to run 2-inch pipe all the way up, but it starts right here. I'm gonna dig this out to see what kind of pipe they stubbed out so I can tell my supplier and they can get all the fittings on order and get them out here. I found the pipe, Centennial Sencor HDPE CTS 250 PSI SDR9. That's pretty good stuff. I believe this is 1 inch. It looks bigger than any of the 3/4 stuff I've ever used. So we need to adapt that to 2-inch and then run it 1,000 feet up the hill. We're gonna trench a 4-foot deep trench. We're gonna shoot straight through right there. So I cut this out down to the bottom of the level of that creek. Water meter's right up there, so we're just gonna trench right through here. Got a skid steer trencher, and then we'll just run and turn. This big tree is in the center of the property, but the house is going over here, but the shop is gonna go over here, so we'll probably keep it somewhere right in here. Just trench right through it. And 500 feet from there, wherever that lands, we'll put a frost-free hydrant in the ground. And then we're gonna put another one right behind the tree line. I got 2 machines that we'll use to put this water line in. This is my TL8. I was gonna make a video about buying this trencher off the auction, but when I went to pick it up, it was literally brand new. The hoses didn't have fittings on the end, so the only thing I've done is put those flat face couplers on there. And other than that, all of this dirt is from me. The teeth had never been scratched, so there was no video because it's brand new. It works perfectly fine, and I got just an absolute deal on it. Then I've got this little 2-ton Kubota. I've got a 6-inch trenching bucket if we need it, but we're putting a couple yard hydrants out, so I'll probably dig a few holes to get down in there. Our water lines need to be 3 foot deep. That's our frost line, so as long as it's 3 foot deep, we'll be good. 4 foot's just a little bit of a safety factor, pretty much. Perfect timing. Up, and that'll go to 4 foot deep. This auger will push it all to the side of the trench. Well, we gave up because this bent. It was bent way further. The dirt was just so wet that it was caking on everywhere, and it was clumping up behind this, and it bent this whole arm, probably double whatever that angle is. We took the other skid steer and smashed it down as much as we could, but ultimately this is gonna have to get heated up or cut and sectioned. I don't know, but it's been 4 or 5 days of sunny, 70 degrees with wind, so I'm hoping all of this field is drier and this won't be a problem. So I'm gonna give it a shot, and I mean, if it's not drier, we're just gonna have to figure it out, because it's not gonna get any drier than this until summer, and we don't have time for that. 2 seconds, that whole arm fell off. All right, well, I am going to just try to trench without that thing. I had a trencher before and I sold it because it sucked, and now I understand that I think maybe they all just suck. And my old one didn't even have one of those, and it just flung stuff back and would fill the trench back up, which is just completely pointless basically. So I'm gonna give it a shot and see, but I think I'm gonna have to get that fixed somehow. I decided to bring the trencher home. I cut where it was bent it back. I just cut the sides and the top, bent it back, straightened it up, and I plated the top and both of the sides with as long of a piece of 3/8 by 3 plate that I could. I'm a terrible welder, but this has to be better than it was. Well, I am pleased to say that I brought this trencher back out here. Yesterday, I was able to trench a few hundred feet, and really it was just the technique that I was using to trench made it so much faster. So I'm hoping to get a lot of it done today. It's a Sunday afternoon after church, and I've got the machine warming up. I'm gonna grease it, but this did great. Didn't bend at all, and really the trencher was doing fine. It was more dry than the last time, but not a ton. So I don't know if that made a difference or not, but I'll get some video of the method that I was using to trench, and it just was going so much faster. Well, you can probably tell how much progress I made yesterday. Right there is where we stopped the first time, and that's where the trencher broke. So I got all the way through the creek. Looks like we've had a little bit cave in down here. So I'm gonna try to go down there and get this cleaned back out. Right here, I'm gonna turn this and head straight up to the tree line where we came through. Probably have to take out a few more trees to get through there, but I'm hoping to at least make it to the tree line today, and then I don't know what kind of roots we're gonna have to get through up there and whether the trencher will do that or not, so we'll figure that out. That time lapse was 120 feet of trench, 4 foot deep. Real time was 39 minutes, so that's not bad. We used to be on about a 2 foot per hour pace, and that obviously wasn't sustainable. Got another almost 200 feet, probably about 180. That took an hour and 40 minutes. I hit a stump dead center right up there. And then there was a big root that I had to work through here. I'm gonna try and just shoot this gap right between that tree and this tree. And there's some more stumps throughout here. That's a small one, but there's a few more that I have to get through. But once we get through here, you know, the house is going over this way. So I'm just gonna cut it straight back. House is going over here. A shop is going over here. So it'll kind of split off between the two of them. But that way this water line will be right, pretty much going down the middle of the property. We can get water over here if we need to, back over there. All this low spot where these trees are down below, that's gonna be a big pond someday. But it is making progress. This dirt, you can see the color change right at the terrace. And this stuff is digging so nicely. I don't think I even would need to do that sawing action that I've been doing. It's just been cutting right through it, except the roots. But I'm hoping once we get to here, this dirt just plows perfectly. We had a great day trenching. I think we probably have about 100 foot to go. Hopefully we can get all these in the ground tomorrow, if not the next day. I got 2 of them assembled. I'm gonna assemble these 2. Then I've gotta put these fittings on our 3 yard hydrants. They're just basic Woodford W34s, but these can be completely rebuilt from the top, so we should never have to dig them up, but you know how that goes. All of our fittings are ready. I've got these on the end. May have to turn those around to get them to align the way we want to, but I like this stuff, the Blue Monster tape and sealant. I've always used both together and I've never had a threaded fitting leak. Granted, I'm not a plumber, so I don't do a ton of these, but none of mine have ever leaked. So let's hope these are no different, but really hoping to get all of this in the ground tomorrow. Time is ticking. You can see the weather is changing from yesterday. Got a late start here. It's almost 1 o'clock. I had to go finish another job up this morning, but I'm gonna work on getting this cleaned back out. I really hope not much more caved in than had yesterday already. And it looks like a little bit right there. The rest of that's good. And then this spot here, I'm gonna have to get, that's quite a bit. I really don't want to dig that by hand. This is what I dug out yesterday because this had all just kept caving in. There's a little bit right there, but I think the rest of that, I can grab that piece with a shovel. We'll probably be all right. We got 500 feet spool laid out. It goes just about to where we thought. It was a lot harder than we thought to get this unspooled, but we're gonna go hook it up there. The trench has been filling itself back in. It's full of water, so we're gonna start at the beginning. I'm gonna get the trencher back on there, and we're just gonna trench the whole thing, and as we're trenching, we'll put the pipe in the ground. So hopefully that'll work. Then we're gonna have some digging to do. I mean, this whole thing has just collapsed. The soil's not super stable. This first part of the trench was not trenched deep enough to begin with, and trying to back trench it to the correct depth, the sides were caving in, as you can kind of see, just from the weight of the skid steer. And then you drive back up to try to trench it and it caves in more, and then you can't drive up anymore because the skid steer will just fall in the trench. So it has to be dug. My little 2-ton Kubota was just not cutting it. It was doing it, it's just so slow. So I went and picked up this 6-ton Yanmar, and it's doing just fine. So I've got to dig this basically to that second dirt pile just past the creek. The trench is correct depth and totally fine all the way back, and we already put the pipe in it. So I've got to go probably 400 foot of digging like this, and I only rented this for one day, so let's get to it. I dug from there down to here. This trench from here to pretty much to the creek was good. So I cleaned that out. The pipe is in the ground. You can see it coming out right down there. Grandpa's here helping me. I'm gonna take this machine. This thing's a beast. I'm gonna take it to the other side and dig out a couple of spots, and then I've got to dig back, I don't know, another 50 foot, and then that trench all the way up should be perfectly fine as well. But this pipe, we did fill it with water so that it would not float, because there's a lot of water in these trenches, and that's been working fine. It's just really unwieldy. The stuff doesn't want to, I mean, it's heavy stuff. So yeah, but I'm pumped. We got a little bit more to go, and then we can dig our hole to connect the 2 pipes up there, get our other hydrant in, and then the rest of that should be easy. I say that now. Nothing about this has been easy. Well, we have had a good day. We're up in the back. Let me turn you around. We got the pipe in the ground all the way to right there. Oh, getting a call. All the way from the meter all the way up here. We got a yard hydrant put in right there. I'm about to dig another one to put in back over here, and then we got to dig the rest of that trench out.
The 1/2-inch sockets there beside it.
Yeah. Dad, Grandpa, and I worked till about 7 last night, and it's done. All the pipes are in the ground. We have 1,120 feet from the meter way up there. It comes up here. There's a hydrant at the beginning, a hydrant in the middle, and then a hydrant right here. And then it continues on to hook into the house.